All right, welcome back to the UFO show. Now, let's get straight into it. The UFO phenomenon and the Pentagon and the US government coming out and saying that there are over 400 documented sightings. There was unaccounted for pregnancies and abductions. Like, what's going on here? Because my initial thoughts are, first of all, of course I'm a believer. I wouldn't be talking about this if I wasn't. And I'll talk about my experiences soon as well. But at the end of the day, why? And this is what I want to know. This is, again, like, I'm hoping to spark a conversation here and some people can let me know. Why are the US government and the Pentagon starting to release UFO information now? Why now and why ever? Because to me, my thoughts are, first of all, do I trust governments? Well, I'll say no more. Think that maybe answers my question. But anyway, if they are lying, which could be likely, I'm not suggesting that, I'm just saying it could be likely. If they were lying, why would they be lying about UFO sightings and unaccounted pregnancies and abductions and unidentified flying objects? Why would they lie about that? But on the other hand, if they are telling the truth, isn't that something they would want to keep hidden? I just don't get why the US government and the Pentagon would release real information about UFOs when they've been hiding it for so long. And why now, in the midst of all this madness, there's so much crazy stuff going on, and now they decide to release information and no one cares. It gets put in the news and then all of a sudden some other fucking trial is going on about some domestic thingy in court, whatever. I thought this should be the biggest story in human history. The government have just come out and said, we have evidence. But no one cares. But you do, and I do. And that's what I'm hoping we can formulate something here. So let me know in the comments. I just generally want people to talk to about this, because like I said in my previous video, I don't really have anyone to talk to about UFOs. Not many of my mates or anyone that I hang around with really wants to talk about this on a deep level. So that's the purpose of this channel. Right, so let's get into it. Why are they doing this? And what are these recent sightings? These aren't necessarily these are my three options, but other people, Joe Rogan, whatever, they've spoken about this and said, and we've heard them formulate their ideas around what this could be. So I kind of think there's three options to why and what is going on here. Option one, it's all a big distraction to take our attention away from something else, other agendas that might be getting swept into play right now whilst people are sidetracked on this UFO story. But I've got to rule that one out straight away, because no one's really bothered about this. No one cares. I was mentioning it to people at work and they're just like, oh yeah, we heard about that. Okay, like, all right, back to what we're doing. But no one wants to hear about it, and that's fine. Option two is what I think could be likely. Now, this is the most likely scenario in my opinion, is that the US government are testing secret military technology, and we know we can believe, or are led to believe, or can theorize that has happened in the past. If we look at what's been going on at Area 51, at the dog chip, at all these other bases around the world, not just in America, all over the place. There's been sightings in Australia, all over the world, and there's secret bases all over the world too, that could be working on super advanced propulsion systems. What would lead me to believe that as well is just look back to the 1950s, before we had phones, before we had these digital cameras, before we really had color TVs or vehicles like we have today, anything, electricity everywhere. Well, we had electricity, but you know what I'm saying. And then the SR-71 Blackbird that could fly at 90,000 feet over Mach 3. And this is like today it's absolutely futuristic. Like, you look at the technology in those engines, and that was in the 50s when that was developed. That's insane. So what I'm trying to say is, if you kind of look at that and sort of develop it on about 50 years, maybe there really is something now that the militaries are testing. They have something, they've They've manufactured it, they're testing it, and they're sending out their Air Force pilots to see if they can lock onto it without them knowing. So they're like, okay, we're going to fly our UFO, let's just call it. We're going to fly our secret technology. We're going to send out our army base. Look, let's see if they can lock on. And all of a sudden, bam, it's gone. And they're like, oh, we have no idea, but they've caught it. And then they're firing into the sea as well. This is crazy. So I think it could be an advanced technology that is not getting released to the public. I mean, I hope this isn't something, I hope this isn't that may have devastating consequences, and I hope it's not being tested for those means. Option 3, it really is aliens. Whether they're coming down from above, whether they're coming out from the depths of the ocean, whether have been here all along, living underground, anything like that, that it is actually aliens. Whether it is them sort of coming to monitor us on a closer, they feel that there's something unsettling going on Earth right now, and they want to come and reach out and say, look, we're here, we're going to have to intervene soon if you humans to keep doing your crazy things. That's all I can theorize right now, but I'd love to hear from others, just what you think, because again, as I said, I want to start just having some conversations with people. Like I said, I've been busy with my music recently, but I'm coming back and going to be posting a lot more UFO content and videos like this coming up soon, hoping to gain a small community.